Yeah.
Hello everybody, I am Cyrus Hojadi. Thank you guys for watching. Right now, it's 8 o'clock, and in about 4 hours from now, it is going to be 2018 here in Las Vegas. Wow, what an amazing year it was for me. A lot of progress, especially in the stock market. Goodness gracious, 2017, we saw many days of record closing. Stock market has risen a lot. The NASDAQ, I believe, went from around 5,400, and now it has reached around close to 7,000. The Dow Jones was under 20,000 this year, and now it got close to 25,000. Lots and lots and lots of gains. Certainly, this has been such an interesting year for Bitcoin, but the general stock markets did very, very well, and a lot of this is because of optimism, earnings reports, but also keep in mind though that it was because we didn't make a lot of gains for 2014, 15, and 16. So we're just trying to catch up, as you know. So, and just to let you know, my YouTube channel talks about a diverse range of topics. We don't always just talk about what's going on here in Las Vegas, about planning, about current issues and so forth. So I do talk about the investment markets. And I've talked a lot more about those several years ago, in case of a lot of you don't remember. So, looking at the stock market now, a lot of gains, very, very exciting, just excited day after day, waking up. So, what situation are we in right now? It looks like that the general stock markets are overvalued, okay? The price-earnings ratio are kind of noticeable. They're kind of, I guess you can say, alarming. However, does that always mean that just because they're overvalued, it's a time to sell? No. Because I believe if you look at the 1990s bull market, in 1997, it seems that it was overvalued. But if you sold at that time, you missed out on a lot of gains in 1998 and 1999. So you have to look at what it has done before, and you got to learn how to use that to forecast the future. So this is one of the things. And by the way, it's only a handful of years in a bull market that a lot of the gains come along. So this bull market that we had started in around, I guess you can say, March of 2009. And the years that you would have really benefited was 2009, although 2009 was just basically trying to undo the crash before. And then 2013 was a very, very bullish year. So 13 and 17 was the years that really, really helped out. So the question is, given our earnings and given our optimism, and given the fact that a lot of assets are now overvalued, what's in store for 2018? Now, the way I see it is that I can see 2018 a year where we're not going to have a lot of change in values. So in other words, perhaps it'll probably be another 2014 or 15. We're not going to see that much of a difference. Or it could be a year where we just see some moderate gains. So S&P can go up 15%, NASDAQ can go up 20%. I don't see very likely it will be another 2017. Because often markets do take a break. And by the way, the futures markets right now, it's looking pretty negative. So it's pretty likely that January, that's coming pretty soon, we're going to have a correction. We haven't had a real correction, actually, believe it or not, since January or February of not this year, but 2016, last year, believe it or not. So it's like almost 2 years since we haven't had a serious correction. I think the last correction we really had was probably Brexit or something. But it seems like every other month we've been in the positive territory for 2017. So we need this healthy correction. Now the real question is, when is the bull market going to end? Because bull markets, they have to end eventually. This bull market's been pretty long. I don't think it's as long as what we experienced in the 1990s. But then again, you never know. It will have to end eventually. Do I think it's going to end 2018? Not very likely, although my mind can change this coming summer. again, the most important thing is that you have to look into is earnings. If the earnings report is good, then we can keep this thing going. And of course, the economic indicators. So earnings are still beating. Economic indicators are still looking promising, despite the fact that the average middle class is still quite struggling. Wages have not gone up too much. But again, the stock market is based really largely on earnings and other factors, price earnings ratio and so forth, fundamentals. So the fact is that if the earnings keep missing overall, then it's a sign perhaps to get out. Another sign that it's perhaps to get out is that if the real estate market starts to slow down. We haven't seen a lot of signs the real estate market is slowing down, although there is some reports that this year can be a turning year, particularly for the coastal areas. However, one of the things that you also have to keep in mind is that mortgage rates are rising. The Federal Reserve has raised interest rates. We've seen what this takes and what has happened in 2005 and 2006, where the rates have gone up and this whole system kind of turns over. So if the mortgage rates go up, then it's likely that that will hit housing sales. We will see some signs in 2018. And the way I see it, more likely is that 2019, it's likely the markets will turn around, although I'm not really making that as a true prediction. But these are some of the indicators that you have to really see is when is the time to get out of this bull market. So when the mortgage rates go up, housing sales miss, and of course banks have been hoarding a lot of properties and turning them into rentals. So once they release them into the market somehow, then that's something that it's an indicator that the real estate market is weakening, especially in the coastal cities and even here in Las Vegas too. And then that's perhaps an indicator that the stock market will have their earnings hit, and then we will see a correction in the stock market. The question is, how large is the correction going to be? I'm not sure. I don't really see that we're going to have another late 2000s correction, the next one that we will have. But again, I see that for 2019 and 20. I just don't see that for 2018.